All right, if you're in charge of any kind of digital product, you know this feeling, right? It kicks off as this brilliant idea, maybe a prototype that just about works, but then things get messy, fast. So today, we're going to break down the framework for how you can transform that fragile, super expensive to maintain codebase into a rock-solid, scalable, high-performance application that actually helps you grow.
Okay, let's just be honest for a second. Do any of these sound painfully familiar? We no longer really know how our system is built. Or how about this one? Our customers are always complaining this system is slow. If you're kind of nodding your head right now, you are definitely in the right place. Because these aren't just little headaches, they're symptoms of a much bigger problem.
And this is the real killer. You're just stuck. You're trapped in maintenance mode. All your money and time is going into just keeping the lights on. Your innovation budget, it's shrinking, and you feel like you're falling behind. This isn't just a tech issue, it's a massive business problem that crushes growth and just burns through cash.
So let's put on our doctor's coat for a minute. If your software is sick, the very first step isn't to just start throwing random solutions at it, hoping something sticks. No, the first step is a proper diagnosis, to really understand the root cause of all the pain. Yeah, see, all these problems, the slowness, the constant bugs, those costs that just keep climbing, they are not random. It's not just bad luck. They are totally predictable symptoms of a system that, well, has outgrown its original design. And understanding this is the absolute key to finding a cure that actually works.
And that, right there, leads us to the big idea, the paradigm shift that honestly changes how you look at everything. It's the simple but powerful fact that all software, and I mean all of it, goes through a completely predictable life cycle.
It's really this simple. There are 4 stages: plan, build, evolve, and maintain, and then inevitably rebuild. So the most important question you can ask yourself right now is this: which stage is my application actually in, and are we treating it the right way for that stage?
Now here's the kicker. Each of these steps has this massive domino effect on the next one. If you have poor planning, I guarantee you're going to have a difficult build. A poor build? Well, that guarantees a painful, expensive maintenance phase. And that painful maintenance phase just hits the fast-forward button to the day you're forced into a super costly rebuild.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this: spending the right amount of time and money up front, especially in that planning phase, isn't a cost. It's an investment, a huge one. It makes the build shorter, it makes maintenance way smoother, and it dramatically improves the return on every single dollar you put into development.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the illness. Now what? Let's talk about the prescription. This is the actionable, step-by-step path to take your application from total chaos to clarity and ultimately high performance. Here it is. This is our roadmap. It's a 5-step workflow where each step builds on the last. We've got pre-planning, then defining your value delivery mechanism, writing great user stories, documenting requirements, and finally, creating a solid project plan. Let's dig into each one.
All right, step 1, pre-planning. And let me tell you, this is the one everyone tries to skip. And it is, without a doubt, the single biggest mistake you can make. This isn't about writing code. It's about getting the business context that's in your head out and onto paper, so your developers aren't just guessing what you want. This one step prevents so much rework and keeps the whole team focused.
Okay, next up we have the value delivery mechanism. I know, it sounds a little jargony, but stick with me. It's basically your strategy, written down. It's a clear map that shows how your data inputs get transformed into the outputs and experiences your users actually want. It's the core logic of your entire system.
I love this analogy because it makes so much sense. Think of your app like a factory. Data is the raw material that comes in the door. Your system, the factory, processes it. And the user experience? Well, that's the finished product you deliver to your happy customers. Your value delivery mechanism is the blueprint for that entire factory. Next, let's talk user stories. Man, this is where so many projects just go off the rails. We write these super vague stories like, a user can add an item to the cart. What does that even mean? It leaves way too much up to interpretation. A great user story is specific, it's testable, and it's loaded with context.
So what makes a great user story? Well, it's got to have these ingredients. You need the initial state, where things are at the beginning, the user persona, who is doing this, the action, the data source, their objective, what are they trying to achieve, and the final end state. This level of detail completely eliminates guesswork for your developers.
So you've got this big pile of stories. Now what? You got to prioritize. And this 4-bucket system is brilliant. You've got critical, these are your must-haves for launch. Important, stuff you'll do right after.
polish, the nice-to-haves, and my favorite, WWIT, or what was I thinking? A great way to filter out bad ideas early on.
And then we get to the actual project plan. And honestly, discipline is the name of the game here. It's simple stuff, but it's so powerful. Do hold all your meetings and keep things updated. Don't skip those meetings, don't let scope creep in, and for heaven's sake, don't ignore your forecast. These simple habits are what keep a project from flying off the rails. Okay, so that's the theory, that's the prescription, but does all this, process and discipline actually work in the real world? Let's stop talking about the pain and start looking at the payoff. Let's see the proof.
I mean, just listen to this. For Krea RevGen, following this kind of systematic approach wasn't just about fixing a few bugs, it was about a total reimagination of their platform that directly led to them becoming the leader in their entire market. That's the goal.
And we're talking about real, tangible results here. A system that could finally scale, which then accelerated their growth. And here's the kicker. It also dramatically cut their hosting costs. That, my friends, is the ROI of doing things the right way.
Here's another one. And the phrase that jumps out is rock solid. That's what this is all about. It's about moving from a state of constant firefighting and bug fixes to one of dependable, predictable performance that you can actually build a business on.
And look, the results just keep stacking up. A critical project launched in just weeks instead of months. A brand new SaaS product that becomes the industry standard. A startup that gets transformed into a successful, lucrative acquisition. This framework flat out delivers.
So, as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. If the path from a messy prototype to a high-performance product is this clear, what's really stopping you? Is it a lack of process, a lack of clarity, or maybe just not knowing where to start? The roadmap is right here. The next move is yours.